All right, guys, we're back with reading recommendations. First, continuing with our Ghostbusters theme, we've got Fun for the Whole Family, Slimer. These are along the lines of during the years of Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. Which season did that? That was the last season.
It was the last
wasn't it?
season.
Yeah.
It was kind of towards the end of the Real Ghostbuster run.
Yeah. It was shortly after Ghostbusters 2 came out.
Yeah, there was like one season of Ghostbusters 2 and kind of merged into Slimer.
Yeah.
As Slimer became more popular than Ghostbusters at the time.
They made him really, whenever the Ghostbusters would come on to his little mini adventures, they would be very cartoonish looking.
Very cartoony, very much like Slimer is in that book right there.
I haven't read these, honestly, but if it's anything like the old mini adventures during the Real Ghostbusters episodes, I'm sure it's pretty good. These are actually from my wife's collection. I brought them into the shop for John to sell.
You notice the Now logo.
Yes, they are from Now Comics.
Which is been defunct for many years.
Yeah, and they do have something that hasn't been on comics in quite a long time, really. The Comics Code Authority. Right there. The stamp from the Comics Code. These would be good to get for, your younger kids who, these obviously probably won't end up being worth very much.
Yeah.
So these would be good starter comics for your kids to get into Ghostbusters or comics in general. You want to get them good starter comics. Get them stuff like cartoon comics like Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, SpongeBob, Slimer. I know I brought in a bunch. I don't know if they would be really child friendly, but some Ren and Stimpy comics I brought into
Not
John.
child-friendly.
No, okay.
You might as well give them Beavis and Butthead comics.
Right. I know they were. I wasn't really big into Ren and Stimpy when I was younger. It aired on Nickelodeon, but I didn't know how close the comics came to that. So yeah, try and find some Now Comics, Fun for the Whole Family, Slimer. Now we go to IDW Publishing. This line, Ghostbusters. It's been a while since I've read these. These seem to more closely follow along the movies. The art style, as you can see along in this one, more closely represents the movie characters. You got Peter Venkman there that looks a lot like Bill Murray. You got Egon Spengler here that looks a lot like Harold Ramis. You got Ray Stantz that looks like Dan Aykroyd. And Winston Zeddemore that looks like, what's his name? Ernie what? Hudson, that's right.
Okay, folks, I'll be taking over this review now.
Go ahead.
No.
You're more than welcome. I'm not good at reviews at all. But these obviously are more mature. I mean, kids would probably still be able to read them, but it's directed more towards the people who grew up with the Ghostbusters as opposed to kids who are just now coming into the Ghostbusters. This is along the lines of, the movies. I think some of the Real Ghostbusters is considered canon with this, as well as the Ghostbusters video game, which we'll be getting into here soon. I believe it's all considered canon with IDW Publishings. We have here Infestation.
This was an IDW major crossover event through all the titles.
Right. We have Displaced Aggression. And we have Tainted Love. Of course, this.
It's this area. It's this particular area, I swear.
Of course, this, because none of the others have this logo on it, celebrating 25 years of Ghostbusters. For those of you who don't know,
Which we're in year 30 now.
yeah,
Was last year.
And IDW celebrating 10 years
Yeah.
at this time. For those of you who don't know, there are Ghostbuster fan groups all over the country, maybe even the world.
all
Yeah.
over the world.
There are slime conventions.
They make their own backpacks, uniforms. Yeah.
Which I thought about getting into.
Me too. They're expensive.
It looks fun, but yeah,
Really
expensive
to
as
create
hell.
one. You can buy one with electrics and everything in it for like $2,000.
Definitely an expensive hobby, but worth it. You get to, you get asked to show up in parades and stuff, show up at conventions and everything. But that's getting off the recommended reading topic. I highly recommend any Ghostbusters comic. IDW really seems to do well with the Ghostbusters stories. The Ghostbusters art as well is, they're trying to do their own thing, but they're trying to stay true to, the movies. They're also trying to stay true to the comics, kind of merge them together a little bit. As you can see, they've got the original uniforms from the movies. They don't have the real Ghostbusters uniforms.
Actually, I'm coming around and I wanted to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
They recently, within the last I think year or so, actually did a crossover between the real Ghostbusters and the regular IDW Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters Get Real, wasn't it?
I think that's what it was called. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I would definitely want to look for and read.
Yes. Maybe if you guys want, John can try and get some IDW Ghostbusters comics in here. Go to your local comic book shop, pick up Ghostbusters. Again, it's IDW. It's not a major publication by any means. They're never usually really on the major racks with the rest of the Spider-Man.
They're up there with G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Right. But they do a great job with Ghostbusters. I can't say enough good things. When I first read these, I saw these in the old comic book shop. He had them. I picked them up because, of course, I'm a fan of Ghostbusters. Being a former paranormal investigator myself, this is what drew me into that. So yeah, pick up Ghostbusters, IDW Publishing. Go on to eBay or Amazon, find Fun for the Whole Family.
Some of your local comic stores may actually have back issues up.
Yeah.
Check there first.
Yeah, of course. Support your local comic book shop always before you go to Amazon or eBay or. But yeah, we got IDW Publishing and Now Comics Ghostbusters. Happy reading.